And
And then
after that, I moved on to a Blackberry. Yeah,
So you were definitely getting the girls now and stuff.
I was getting there.
You didn't have to say. You didn't even have to say much. I mean, people like us. I had a Nokia, the Nokia Asha and all that. So I had to make sure that I have a story. Hey baby
Yeah.
girl, hit her with some line or something, and then say, "Can I have your number?" You don't have to say nothing. You just walk up and be like, and then easy,
Okay,
easy,
what's up?
Just
easy.
show her the BlackBerry with the
You just show the BlackBerry.
contact page.
Yeah.
This is a number. You done. You done. You know what I'm saying? Ekasi Esports Podcast, episode 11. Hey, what's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the Ekasi Esports Podcast. If you've been here before, then you know what this is. You know what this is. All right, welcome
You
back.
already.
Welcome back to New Year, blah, blah, blah. And if you're new here, welcome. We hope you enjoy your stay with us. We hope you're entertained, educated, everything. This is the Ekasi Sport Podcast. Your weekly dose of tech news, gaming news, esports events, everything. We talk about everything. Geeky. In that geeky spectrum, we talk about it here. So even if you're not a geek, you might learn a thing or two, through our interesting conversations. If I can call them that, right?
Yeah, interesting conversations, definitely.
Yeah.
But just a disclaimer: we, Perfect and I,
Mhm,
do our own research prior to us coming here, so
mhm,
we make sure we know what we're saying, so we don't give you guys false information or anything like that.
mhm.
And our views may not be the same as people's from the organization's view. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It,
just
yeah,
take everything we say with a grain of salt.
yes. And also, yeah, like you just said, our thoughts and opinions don't reflect those of the organization. So yeah, that too. If we don't like pineapple on pizza, that's us, not the whole organization.
Yeah.
Probably there's some weirdos in the organization who like pineapple on pizza. But anyways, we're not just a judge who likes pineapple on pizza or what type of pizza they like. This is the podcast. This is a podcast.
Yes.
I am your host, Perfect. And yes, we got a soundboard now. We got some sounds on the
Yeah.
podcast. We got some sounds on the podcast. That deserves a hand. But yeah, as usual, I'm not alone. I'm with my main man, Mr. Judo. What's up, Judo?
More good things. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Uh,
That's
but,
good.
but before I ask you about your holidays and how they were, and act like I care about them.
Oh.
It was a joke, man. It was a joke. I'm trying
I
to
know, I
lighten
know,
up
I
the.
know, I know.
But yeah, I'd like to introduce. Okay, no, we'd like to introduce our other main man. Since
Yeah.
this is the new year, and we should change how we do things. You know what I'm saying? We should switch things up a bit here and there. For the better, obviously, for the better.
Yeah.
And what better way, to make the podcast better than having a third perspective in these conversations, right? So, in other words, I'd like to introduce what do we call it? A guest host,
Yes.
right?
Well, more of like a host on trial.
Yeah, a host on trial. If he does well, he's gonna stay. If he does bad, kick him out. So if you guys don't like him, leave a comment or leave a review and say, yeah, we don't like this new guy, kick him out. Then we'll say bye bye to him. But yeah, but anyways, we'd like to introduce our homie, our other main man, Mr. Munashe. What's up, Mr. Munashe?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Man, this is the deuce.
Yeah.
Hit him with the deuces, dude. It's a
Yeah.
vibe up here.
I don't
Oh,
know if you're
Yeah.
Pirates or Chiefs. I don't know if you guys know. So man is both at this point. Man is both at this
All of
point.
them, dude. All of it.
oh my days. I
Hey,
don't know about
yeah.
perfect, yeah, but
Mhm.
I'm good. I'm assuming perfect is good. I'm assuming perfect is good. So
No, I'm not
yeah.
good, bro. I'm
What's
not
up?
good, honestly. I'm perfect.
Yeah.
Ah, look at this dude.
Nah, dude.
I had to.
Look at
I
this
had
dude, man.
to.
Ah.
But the trend was being part of a podcast part of your New Year's resolution for 2022, or because if it was, then actually you're welcome and congratulations for for ticking one item off your resolutions box or from your
Yeah.
resolutions list. Yes.
Yeah, nah. Honestly, it wasn't, to be honest with you, but you know me perfect. I like talking nonsense and I have a lot of opinions on stuff.
Listen.
And and I guess, I just figured one day, at the end of the day, I would end up on a podcast somewhere, sometime. And I guess this is just that time. And, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
But, but,
Oh,
Pineapple Pizza Gang,
oh.
rise up. Because that is something we like out here. So,
Ah,
yeah.
that was
It's okay.
wrong.
You guys
Ish.
can be wrong. It's fine. But the rest of us, we know what's up. You know what's up, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, you will stay there. You already one strike, one strike. I mean, if you hit three
What's
strikes before the end of the episode, we'll catch you out. And then but
Wow.
anyways, let's jump into today's topics. There's a lot happening this year. I mean, we kicked off the year with CES 2022. We saw some great tech, and I think we're about to see some more tech coming in. Like in the next months. I mean, we have a whole year. And CES 22 has already showed us that there's a lot to expect from the year. And also not just on the tech side, but on the gaming side as well. There's a lot to expect. I mean, God of War is coming to PC this month,
Yeah.
finally. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to expect. There's a lot of gaming, there's a lot of cool tech, there's a whole bunch of stuff. And also for this podcast, we have a lot planned for this podcast. And be sure to stay tuned. And for you to stay tuned, be sure to subscribe. Turn on the post notifications button. Leave a like, comment, share. Help us out with the algorithm. Let's spread the word. Let's spread the word. But yeah, we have a lot of plans for the podcast. So just stay tuned. We're not going to reveal everything because what's the point? It's like spoiling the movie. It's like someone telling you, that all the Tobey Maguires will show up in the next Spider-Man movie or something like that. Did I say all the Tobey Maguires? I
all
meant
the
all the
Tobey
Spider-Man.
Maguires?
Bro, that's
I
wrong,
mean, it's a
man.
multiverse, so honestly,
That's
there's multiple Tobey
you
Maguires.
do, you do, dude, you
You know what I
do.
Yeah.
meant. All the
Nah,
all
nah,
the
nah,
Peter
nah.
Parkers.
Y'all are spoiling them. What about the people that haven't watched
I
it,
mean,
yo?
it's common knowledge. Okay, I'm sorry if I spoiled it for
Nah,
y'all, but like, I mean,
nah,
it's been
yo.
around. Everyone kind of
Yeah.
knows
Bro,
that.
bro, my sister went to watch the movie yesterday. She didn't know about it. I didn't say nothing. Just
Well,
imagine.
then
Just
that's one
imagine.
less person we've spoiled it for then.
Yeah, everyone else is gonna watch this. We'll know.
But I mean, people who are watching this
What?
podcast are probably into Spider-Man. I don't know. Maybe if you aren't and you didn't know about this news, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Please forgive me.
Man, this
Yeah.
dude. Look at
But
this
I'm
yeah.
not
dude.
sorry, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, 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 guys, it's been like nearly a month. Nah, nah, nah. I'm sorry. Allow it, dude.
Dude.
Ish. Yeah, but hey, let's move on. Let's move on before we
Move
introduce
on,
more
yeah.
spoilers. But yeah, let's jump into the first part of the show. So I would like to introduce a new segment. It's called the cool tech item of the week. Basically we'll just introduce like a cool item that caught our attention during the week. And one item that really did capture my attention right this week was the Lenovo's ThinkPad Plus Gen 3. Mouthful. Oh, it's a mouthful.
That really is a mouthful.
It's sort of like a dual screen laptop, right? So it's like a very wide laptop. So usually where so it has like it's sort of like a tablet, on the right, like just beside the keyboard, right? Usually where you'd have your number pad, now you have a tablet, another screen. It looks like a tablet to me, so that's why I'm saying it's a tablet. But like, yeah, it's another screen there which you can use and interact with, and you could use as a secondary monitor for content consumption, or you could use for productivity. Just like you can see in the picture, they have Photoshop open there on the main screen, and right on the secondary screen, the person is adding some fine details to whatever the editing, right? But yeah, that's the cool item of this week. I mean, I find it pretty cool. It even comes with the like a stylus pin, yeah, a stylus pin that you could use to to interact with the touch with the touch features of that secondary screen. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it opens a lot of it opens a lot of doors and opportunities for productivity, to enhance productivity, and also I guess content consumption, like have a YouTube video here, have another YouTube video here if you're that weird. Watch two YouTube videos at one time. Hey
Yeah.
man, I don't hate.
No, this is really cool. Like just looking at it, it actually reminds me of, in first year when I used to live in student accommodation, and I had a friend who did graphic design, and he used to use his laptop, and then next to his laptop he'd use this other like solid black slab type of thing. I think it's a Lenovo ThinkPad or Sketchpad or something like that.
Oh yeah,
And
Sketchpad. Yeah.
yeah, and he'd have to then draw on that with these stylus and stuff. And I remember every time when he was done, he'd then have to, pack up his laptop, then his mouse, then put the ThinkPad inside its own pouch, then put that into the laptop bag and stuff like that. So
Mm.
just seeing this is like literally all in one. It's nice, compact, it's got that widescreen and stuff, and I think it's like really solid for productivity and design and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, initially I thought the screen was removable. I mean, I feel like if the screen was removable, it would have been a cool feature. But I can see like like extra there's too much mechanisms happening there. And there's it could break or something could happen. If you're able to remove it. What if you drop the screen while using it on its own or something? But even though, yeah, like you're right, like especially for graphic designers and people who work with media, like creatives and stuff, like people who work with Photoshop, Illustrator, or Lightroom or similar software, they'll enjoy this device because, like you said, you can interact with their screen, do all your sketching there, and do now.
Yeah.
I'd love
Oh,
to get one. I definitely would love to get one. Obviously, if I had the money, but ish, I'm pretty sure this thing is gonna like cost like cray cray. But yeah, this was unveiled in CS22, and hopefully we'll see it in the markets quite soon, and maybe we'll get like a proper price tag, for it. But yeah, that's this week's cool item that we saw from CES. I'm pretty sure there's more. There's more items, but we'll get into them later during the show. Um, but yeah, our first topic of the show, right? So let's jump into some tech news. Some tech news. Um, it's a new year, right? So obviously, new smartphones have been announced. I mean, there've been some smartphones which were leaked like late last year, and there's also been leaks of the new iPhone 14.
he's
The
already, man.
Already, dog. I mean, we just got the 13. Now we're talking about the 14.
Dude, some
Forget
people,
about the 14. Let's talk about the 15. But the 15 is kind of old news now. Let's talk about the 16.
dude,
Go on.
some people are like, since the 13 has come out,
Yeah.
that means that the prices for the 12 have gone down. And because of that, the 12s are cheaper. And that means I can get the iPhone 10.
It's pretty super affordable at this point. Yeah, because yeah, imagine upgrading every year. I mean, unless you're on a contract or something, it's gonna be hard to upgrade if, especially if you buy everything prepaid. What I'm saying it's
Yeah.
Mm,
just nightmare. Imagine spending one like I think the iPhone 13 retails for like what over 20K here in South Africa.
Dude,
that's crazy, man.
that's
Yeah,
literally a gaming PC right there, man.
that's a
Well,
whole gaming
actually,
PC.
actually, my bad. That's a graphics card.
I mean, yeah, if you want to get the latest and the great, even that's not even the greatest price, the price of the greatest card out there. But I mean, it's a decent graphics card for that price. Uh, but yeah, the iPhone 14, some news has been leaked, right? So this is unofficial news. It's not really, this is not by Apple, and we know that Apple doesn't do this. They don't leak things, prematurely before they get released. But yeah, so in iPhone news, the iPhone 14 Pro could have a hole punch camera and hide the Face ID under the screen, right? So the past years, the reason why Apple has remained consistent with the notch on its iPhones, right, is because they've they have like the best, if not the best, one of the best face recognition software in their in their phones. So and they need that extra hardware on the notch, to make it more accurate and much better because they use the infrared sensor, and over the past years, companies like LG and Samsung have been experimenting with under display cameras, right? So because that's what they're saying, the sensors that are used for face recognition on the iPhones are going to be under the screen, and yeah. So, but obviously there's still going to be a hole punch. So the main camera, like your selfie camera, is going to stay exposed, but then the other sensors for face recognition and whatever are going to go under the screen, which I feel like is a good idea. Because for Face ID, those sensors don't need like that crispy, crispy, crystal clear image. They just need like an approximation to say, oh, this is this person. So with them jumping on the hole punch display wave, I feel like it's kind of cool. I mean, the notch has survived, for way too long. It has exceeded its life expectancy at this point. So I'm not a big
Yeah.
iPhone person, but I'm excited to see what they have in store for us.
Honestly, like
Well,
going back to what you said, yes, the iPhone definitely has, exceeded its notch thing. Because
Mhm.
remember, I think it was Samsung that made like a diss advert towards iPhone, where
Over the
every
foreheads
like all the iPhone users are just walking around with
with a
just
notch
like
on their foreheads.
the notch in their forehead. So yeah, I think finally iPhone has come to the realization that whoa, maybe we should get rid of the notch.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah,
were the first ones, and they were the last ones to have the notch.
yeah,
So, I mean, what better way to exit? And iPhone, right? iPhone doesn't jump on like trends and waves like other
yeah.
smartphone companies. So,
yeah,
obviously, they want to make sure that when they get rid of the notch, they have a great option. They have a great alternative to the notch. And
yeah,
like I said, under display cameras are not new. LG and Samsung have been experimenting with them, but they are not yet there. Because the future is to have is not is well you still want to have your front facing camera and everything, but you would want to have that under the display, so you have no notch, you have no hole punch, you just have just a clear notchless holeless display.
Notchless,
display.
holeless.
You get what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say. But
yeah.
Yeah.
that's the treatment. That's the goal. Mhm.
But Xiaomi has actually, already sort of like showcased a phone that has
Mhm.
a under camera display. It wasn't that great, but it was progress, and from that I saw this technology was actually moving forward, and I can see why Samsung or LG want to adopt the technology as well.
I mean, no, they've been at it. LG and Samsung have been at it, and apparently they're the ones who are going to be manufacturing the screens for the iPhone 14.
Oh wow,
If they go with the hole punch display, and I mean they still do. Like Samsung, I think is the one which provides screens for iPhone already currently.
yeah,
So yeah, I guess it's just more money for them from Apple. It's more money from them. I mean, yeah, I mean you've seen Samsung devices; they have the best displays. I mean, personally, that's how I feel. They have, the iPhone, not the iPhone, the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
but you
And
know
those,
what comes with that beauty?
what price
A
tag?
nice price tag. Exactly.
A very nice price tag. I mean, we also see renders like this. Let me just see if I can open this
Like
in
that.
WhatsApp.
That's a really nice
Okay,
design.
I'm not
You know,
gonna lie, that does look beautiful.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look really, really sexy. I mean, even the cameras at the back, like they're more, like I guess they might go for this flush setup, kind of similar to some of the Samsung devices we've seen this past year. And apparently they say they want to remove that physical button, like that physical switch on the side. Yeah,
Hmm.
they're also looking. There's also rumors that they might remove it, that as well from the iPhone. But I guess we'll just see. We'll wait and see what happens. These, like I said, these are unofficial leaks, so you will never know. They might still come back with a notch. I mean, we predicted that the iPhone was going to remove its notch on the iPhone 11. Then what? iPhone 13 in, and we still have the notch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have the notch. And another smartphone, or smartphones which have been leaked, is also the Samsung's Galaxy S22 lineup. They've been
Ooh.
leaks, and there are these guys who make these like dummies, like those like dummy
Mm.
models of these phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, these are the dummy models. So it's not the actual phones, but these are the dummy models. And I saw this to be quite interesting because so on the right you have the S22, Samsung Galaxy S22, then you have the S22 Plus in the middle, then you have the S22 Ultra on the left, right? And
Yeah.
what I find to be interesting is that the S22 Ultra, I actually thought it was a Note. When was the last
Yeah,
time we saw notes?
it looks
Um,
like a Note.
the Note 21 wasn't it? The Note 21.
No, there
It's the
wasn't.
Note
I
20.
I think I've seen a Note 20, and that's
Yeah.
about it. I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
seen a
yeah.
21. There might be one out there, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Well,
I think they skipped the year.
I did hear some rumors about Samsung, canceling out that Note lineup,
Mm.
and this is because of the chip shortage. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, there
Wow.
were rumors. Remember, these are just
Mm.
rumors, so they
Yeah.
might just be like, "Hey, Note 22, here we go."
Yeah.
But I
um,
mean, they've skipped the year, and if you're OCD like me, like you, 2022
I
is
mean,
I mean, it
21.
lines up then. Imagine.
they kind
Uh,
of jumped from 10 to 20. So
Yeah.
but I mean, they want to make another jump again.
yeah,
You see, so that's what I found interesting is that maybe the Ultra series might be because I mean the Ultra was already as almost as powerful as the Notes, right?
Mm.
So you might as well just phase out the Notes and just come up with S22 with an with an Ultra line, you know,
Yeah.
less stress, less stress. Just give it hard corners, add a bit like add some more RAM, yana, because yeah, Samsung doesn't goes crazy with RAM. Next thing, 32 gigs of RAM in there, terabyte of storage.
can you imagine, dude? At one point, like the S20 Ultra had more
Mhm.
RAM than my PC.
Then you know it's bad. When you had like 8 gigs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pain without the S.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's quite interesting, and I guess I'm excited to see. I'm sure Samsung's going to release something soon because I know like in the beginning, like first quarter, second quarter of the year, that's when Samsung is active and already pushing their flagships. But obviously with iPhone, we might see it later. Um, and still on the topic of our phones, there's still a company, right, um, that would like to honor, right? There's a company that has been around, you know, for years, for decades, right? And on the 4th of January, it officially, I guess it was official that it's no longer going to make a comeback. But the company I'm talking about is BlackBerry. So from the 4th of January, BlackBerry announced that their devices will stop working. Their classic devices will stop working. So if you own a BlackBerry Curve or a BlackBerry Bold, unfortunately, you might have noticed that your phone is no longer functioning the way it should. And that's because BlackBerry has phased out those devices and they will no longer be providing support and any updates for that software, unfortunately. So, yes, so RIP to BlackBerry. RIP to BlackBerry.
Man, that sucks.
that is literally
Yeah.
the end of an era, man.
The
Back in
memories.
back in the days when everyone would be like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna text you on BBM, yeah." Just
Mm.
ju- um, just a disclaimer, yeah. I never owned a BlackBerry, so I'll just hear people say that and be like, "If only."
Yeah, if only like one day I
One
will get an
day.
iPhone, I'll get a BlackBerry. One day when I grow up, right? Like if I, one day when I grow up, I'm gonna get myself a BlackBerry. But I guess that dream will never come true because now I've kind of grown up. I want to say I'm old, but like I've kind of grown up. So
Yeah, you
Yeah.
grown-ish.
I'm
Grown
grown-ish. Yeah,
ish.
I'm grown-ish, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not looking to buy myself a BlackBerry. So bye bye to that dream.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean,
Mm.
Mhm.
it was a thing back then. Really,
Yeah.
honestly, it was that status thing basically. If you owned a BlackBerry, you're like that guy. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were
Especially
that.
during like 2013, 14. 'Cause that's when I was like in grade 8, 9.
Mhm.
And that's when it was like really, really popular. Hey,
Mm. And you said you had an iPhone, right? You said you had an iPhone in grade 8.
for me,
Yeah.
no, no, no. I had my first phone was a Samsung Galaxy Pocket.
Oh
And
yeah.
then
And then
after that, I moved on to a BlackBerry. Yeah.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
were definitely getting the girls now, Mr. Hawk.
I was getting there.
You didn't have to say. You didn't even have to say much. I mean, people like us. I had a Nokia, the Nokia Asha and all that. So I had to make sure that I have a story. Like hey baby girl,
Yeah.
hit her with some line or something, and then you say, "Can I have your number?" You don't have to say nothing. You just woke up. You're like, and then easy,
Okay, what's
instant.
up?
Just show her the Blackberry with the
Just show the
contacts, the
BlackBerry with
contact page.
Yeah.
it is a number. You done. You done. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a quote from BlackBerry. They said as of this date. Oh, this was released on the 20th. They released the statement on the 22nd of December 2021. So they said as of this date, devices running these legacy services and software. They're talking about the old BlackBerry operating system through either carrier or Wi-Fi connections will no longer reliably function, including for data, phone calls, SMSs, and 911 functionality. So, meaning that if you can't make calls, you can't send text messages, you can't even call 911. So, if you have an emergency and you need to go to the hospital or call an ambulance and you got a Blackberry, ish,
You'll burn in that fire.
you wait. That's a bit dark. I was just gonna say, you be strong or something like burning fire.
Get
Jesus.
used to it, guys.
Aua.
Okay, I'll
Yes.
lighten up my humor for this. Just a little bit, a little bit.
So yeah, so it's not like you can't receive any more updates, right? But it's just that your phone will no longer work. So that means having it is not gonna be just that thing, a lifeless body. Um,
Antique, man. It's an antique.
it's an antique, yeah. But this only affects the BlackBerry devices that run the BlackBerry software specifically. The BlackBerry devices that run Android, because BlackBerry still okay. I'm not sure if they still do like lately, but like I remember, because they stopped manufacturing. BlackBerry stopped manufacturing their phones in 2016, right? So and they was this they licensed their manufacturing to a company called I think TLC. It's a Chinese company. So they were the ones making the Android versions of BlackBerry phones. So if you own a BlackBerry, I don't know who you are, right? But and it runs Android, then you're fine for now. You're fine for now. You can still use it. You'll be fine. Um, but yeah, if you're running the old phones, then no more.
Ade.
It is time. It is
Unlucky.
time. It is
Unlucky.
time. You know what's sad, right? I feel like the saddest thing about BlackBerry story is the fact that it was seen as the phone. It was the
Mm.
A-list phone. I mean, celebrities had it. I mean, Kim Kardashian had it too. You know,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of fashion icons had it. Business moguls had it. Everyone, who was at the top of the food chain in the world had an iPhone. Even Barack Obama, when he was president, I remember he
Mhm.
made, having an iPhone, like he made it a thing, and
Yeah.
imagine going from that level all the way to, fizzling out your mobile division. It's sad. It's kind of sad. You know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah.
all good things must come to an end, as as life goes. And it's not the only company that this has happened to. There's HTC, there's Sony. Just to name a few.
Mm.
Sony was not has not really been at the top. I mean, like in the early 2000s, maybe with the Sony Ericssons,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean they've been like that companies. They're not bad. They're not good. They're just like okay. I mean they're not the best. They're not bad, but they're just like good. Just good level.
I
So I
know at
wouldn't
a
say it's the worst.
point, sorry to cut you off. I know at a point the Sony Xperia
Oh
phones were actually
yeah.
quite popular.
Oh yeah.
They
That's
really.
Very
just a
much.
name that like popped to my head now.
They
But
had
yeah.
that 16:9 aspect ratio, right?
Yes,
On their
yeah.
Yeah.
phones, yeah, they were
Yeah.
crazy. I remember when even like the water resistance thing on phones was becoming a thing. I remember,
Mhm.
there was a chick, right? I was just on a chick. So we're at the tap, we're at the fountain, right? And her phone fell like in some sand and it was a bit dusty. So what she did, right? She puts it under the fountain and she's washing it with water. And that's how just having a drop on your phone was scary. And she's there, like, oh, dust. And I'm like, hey, girl, hey,
She's
she.
pulling out the sunlight and everything. Perfect's
Yes.
just like you.
I'm like, technology, dog, technology. Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, and then yeah, Xperia was the thing. But like, I feel like I can compare BlackBerry's downfall to Nokia's because even Nokia, like even during the BlackBerry's reign, Nokia was like also one of the phones to get. I mean, I'll say Samsung, Nokia. What other phone company? Yeah, those were the two main ones. Samsung
Yeah.
and Nokia. They were like the two main phone companies, and then BlackBerry was like the top, high class.
Yeah.
But then out of those three, only one is dominating as it should, right? And
Mm.
I expected also maybe like 10, like now Nokia will still be dominating the markets, and the smartphone, especially the smartphone markets, but they base they, they disappoint the Mapenas. They disappointed me, bro.
Keep
Um,
up with the times, yo.
and that's because they were very resistant to change. They didn't want to innovate, right?
Yeah.
Because during
Yeah.
that time when they were, I Apple had released the iPhone, and the iPhone was becoming a thing, you know, and was this, Samsung was on that Android wave with a bunch of other companies, but then BlackBerry and Nokia didn't want to rather like work and get like and get an Android version in their phones. They instead decided to make their own software, which I do admire. Like that resilience, but sometimes you must not be stubborn. Great innovation.
Yeah.
But you know,
Gotta
Yeah.
get with the trend or you get left behind
exactly.
sometimes.
And the
Yeah.
crazy thing is that these companies, right, they're the ones which also brought innovation when back in the day when telephones were a thing, when cell phones were still new. They're the ones innovating and doing crazy things with phones. I remember Nokia would have like some crazy devices which looked wonky, and everyone would be questioning them, and no one would want to follow the trends they set.
Hmm.
But
Mm.
then they now became the companies that also were resistant to change. You feel me?
Not only
Yeah.
they also became the company that's following the other companies.
Yeah, and yeah, and now they followed, but they followed at the end. Now they're seen as old fashioned and all that, which is not a great look that you want to be. It's not a great look
Yeah.
you want to have.
Yeah.
It's basically like us, like how we like, old people are so, they're out of touch. They don't understand the new wave. But then one
Yeah.
day we also will be those old people who are stuck on our ways, and and the younger generation will be like, yo, you should get on this, and they will be like, you kids, you don't know nothing, y'all don't know the right ways, and then we'll become those grumpy old people. I mean, it's just fascinating of how that works out at the end of the day.
I just hope I don't
Yeah.
become that grumpy old person. I really do hope I don't become that grumpy old person, yo.
I mean, we don't, but sometimes life
Yeesh.
happens. Life
I feel
happens.
like you'll become like the cool uncle who lives around
Yeah.
the neighborhood. You know?
Yeah. I like this man, but this man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like this man.
Not me. You just putting me.
I mean,
It's fine.
he told me I'll be the cool uncle though. Like, what do you
I
mean?
didn't say you wouldn't be cool. It's just
I mean,
he said it out loud. It's fine.
yeah,
No, it's fine. Dude. It's
he
fine.
said it first.
It's fine.
Mm.
But anyways, uh, that's some take. That's some take news that happened. Like this week. There's more to. There's a lot, but obviously we can. We're just touching on the things that we found interesting. But yeah, on the other segment of the show, the gaming segment. What games are you guys looking out for this year? 2022.
Personally, I would say God of War Ragnarok, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a PlayStation, so no.
Can't get that
Yeesh.
DLC, dog, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not. Eish, I don't want to cry.
But at least
So
it is now getting God of War on PC, so
yeah,
that's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, you see, that's a plus. That's a
So it's
plus right
coming.
there.
So obviously, if it's going to be on PC, that means that DLC is going to come eventually. Maybe not
Mm.
anytime soon, but one day is one day.
Eventually, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
eventually,
know it's coming.
Mm.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
But like there are two games actually that I'm looking forward to besides the God of War stuff.
Mhm.
Though I do not have a Switch, I have played The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
Like
you know.
if you guys have seen any videos from like IGN or something, you'd see how they'd break the game or just do some crazy stuff where they just like fly across the entire map. and then
Doggy.
and it's so sick because like okay, I'm trying to do that too, so that's actually why I got into playing Breath of the Wild, because I saw videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I'm looking forward to, and the other one would be, I spoke about this in one of the previous episodes, but it was Forspoken. If you guys
Yeah.
watched Samsung, not Samsung, Sony's showcase
Uh-huh.
last year, you would have seen that that was one of the games that they presented, and thankfully it's coming to PC. So yeah,
Yeah.
boy,
We're getting it. We're
yeah,
just not
yeah,
getting
Doing
left
the
behind,
things.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
when those PlayStation guys, dog, they've been having so much fun, dog.
They'd be
They've
having
been having
Yeah.
so much fun,
they'd be having such a good time, man, with all those PlayStation exclusives, yo.
Yeah, I mean, we could try and do this ourselves, and be like, we got a PC, better hardware, better performance and all that than a PlayStation. And
Can they
then they'll
beat
be
a
like,
PlayStation 5?
oh, what games do you play? You know,
Yeah.
they hit you with that one. You're like, yo, why you gotta hit me? Why you gotta hurt me like that? Are you playing Spider Man? Do you play Spider? Nah. Are you playing God of War? Well, now we can. Right? We will be because the
Yeah.
process will be released. Yeah.
I'll
I
tell
think
them.
the worst I was ever hit with was this other guy on Twitter.
Mhm.
He was just talking about how, PlayStation is better than PC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this was back when I didn't really have a good PC. So then we are just going at it at the Twitter thread.
Yeah.
And you just and I just, kept throwing the classic arguments, the, better hardware, higher refresh rate, stuff like really sinking into him.
Yeah,
And
hitting him with the
then
facts. Hitting him with the
yeah,
facts.
and then he replied, and then you know how your replies come as a pop-up on your phone? So I just saw the
Mm-hmm.
pop-up and the reply was, but is your PC better than a PS4? I didn't even open it. I just swiped left on the reply.
Conversation
Yo,
ended.
I didn't
Buried.
even reply. I didn't do nothing, dude. I was just like,
Traumata-
I
Emotional damage. I think I should get that as a sound effect.
Emotional
emotional
damage.
damage.
I should get that as a sound effect as well. But I mean, that's the main. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, you can as PC fanatics, you can all say, oh, PC can potentially beat PlayStation in terms of hardware and all that and performance. But that's your PC. You who are say who's saying that that's your PC beat the PlayStation 5. You know what I'm saying? And then
I
outside
mean,
when
I have a yeah. I
Nah.
was saying I have a good PC now. I might just reply to that thread. It's like, it's like two
years
years
later,
later. Now what's up?
it's better.
It's
Yeah.
better.
Jeez, man.
I guess on
Oh,
my side, yeah.
sorry. I just wanted to say that I did finish Spider Man though,
Oh,
with
you
the
did?
Rad Brad.
Oh, it's a rare. I mean, shout out to Rare Brad, dog. I mean, we always shout him out in our episodes. I mean, he's doing so much for the PC community who can't play these games, and
Yeah.
I'd like to see these games in the walkthroughs. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, games I'm looking out for. Like I said, definitely God of War, Forspoken, definitely. Um, but also on mobile, Apex Legends Mobile. I'm a big fan of Apex Legends. Right? I
Yeah.
love Apex Legends. So I'd like to see how they execute the mobile version. I mean, I've seen the content posted up on YouTube from popular mobile content creators, mobile gaming content creators. So I'd like to see how the final product is. And
Mhm.
apparently, they're saying that the game might be coming out first. I mean, second quarter of the year. So can't wait to see what they have in store for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, we,
Yeah.
we we can't wait to see, and like this was something that you brought up earlier, that Apex Legends Mobile might get SA servers before Apex Legends.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like I feel like in Africa specifically, right? The mobile esports and gaming scene, is set to take off. Bigger than the console esports and gaming scene, bigger than the PC gaming and esports scene, because not everyone can here realistically can afford a high end PC. To play a lot of these games and like AAA games or esports titles. Also, there's also another question of the internet. A lot of these games on PC and console, they need like some good internet, like fiber connection. So you can't really play using your mobile data. And if you do use your mobile data, which we've been there before, right? You
hmm
go, you just chow that data like it's nothing. You feel me?
Like it's
So
water.
exactly. So on your phone, you just load up, a gig or two. Or actually, now since we got rain, and apparently now we have DSTV internet. DSTV now providing internet. Gents.
Oh,
Did you not
damn.
know that? Yeah, they're providing internet.
Yes, that's new.
Yeah,
That is.
they have internet packages now. So what happens that you connect to so the internet connects to the MTN network, and then so it's basically the MTN network, right? But then you purchase it from DSTV, and the packages they're okay. They're okay. I won't say they're the cheapest, but they're okay. And they're trying to compete with companies like like Rain, Salsi, and Telcom, which already offer like the fixed LTE internet options for homes. But I mean, it's okay. It's okay. The pricing
Interesting.
it's the pricing. For me, it's the pricing. It's not the connectivity, but it's the pricing, which is shaky.
Yeah.
But yeah, back on my point now. I digress. You know, internet connectivity on the phone and gaming, on the phone is becoming more viable, especially with the advancements in mobile tech and mobile hardware. Um, I mean, like we see like when PUBG launched in Africa, it like everyone was playing PUBG, COD Mobile. Everyone is playing COD Mobile,
Yeah.
and the great thing is that we're also seeing more females. There's a huge female presence also within these titles like Free Fire Mobile. There's within COD Mobile, within PUBG Mobile. So there's high potential for these titles to dominate. Mobile titles to dominate the space.
And I remember when COD Mobile came out, it was me and other group of friends, obviously, and there were like two, three females that would play with us on a regular basis, like every night, and it was fun. It was fun. So we'd hop on like a WhatsApp call and just like speak and play throughout the game, and there were games where they just like outfrag all of us, and it's like, whoa, okay, time to
Yeah,
pull up our socks. It's time to try hard now.
true, true. Yeah.
I'm
So
switching
yeah,
on
yeah,
my
yeah.
phone screen now.
Give me a second to log in. But yeah, hence why I'm saying definitely I feel like Apex Legends is gonna get the service before Apex on PC or console. So yeah. Plus it's already popular, already has a big market in the console and PC space. So when it comes to mobile, some of us like who play on PC and console will jump on the mobile version as well to play on the go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like in the instance where you went at home, you the only Apex you had was YouTube.
Yeah,
So
like yeah. When I was away during the holidays, yeah, I was busy watching Apex gameplay. So even now, if the Apex Legends mobile, I can play on my phone. Because obviously I couldn't go with my PC to my parents' place for just a weekend. So
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
just have it on my phone, play Apex Legends mobile. So I can't wait. So please, I hope they release it soon, man. Like I've been waiting for this game. So yeah, that's my games. What about you, Monash? What are your games?
Uh, I'm not looking to any. Well, the game's already out, but one
Mhm.
game I'm meaning to get is the new Demon Slayer game.
Oh
The
yeah.
Hinokami
Ooh,
Chronicles, because
yeah.
just looking at the art and the characters and the feel and play style of the game, I think it's definitely something I can play for 20 hours a day and not feel bad about my life.
I mean, it does look
Yeah,
lit.
no, no.
It
It
does look
looks
lit.
seriously good. And it references, like the characters' moves and the breathing styles and that from the anime and manga. So I'm
Uh-huh.
actually really excited to get it and play it sometime.
Yeah, one thing
Yeah.
that really captured my attention in that game is the art, definitely. Like, because the anime art is so beautifully executed. Like, the anime art, like, Demon Slayer, hands down, one of the best anime arts I've seen in an anime, right?
Mhm.
So, I'm glad that they also, push that also onto the game as well. I mean, the art in the game is really nice, especially when you see Zenitsu, dog.
See, dude,
Mhm.
as soon as you see that pose, man, you see
No,
when he has his head down. You
oh,
know it's
bro,
over, dude. You know it's
you
over.
know, bro. Oh,
Yeah.
but that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
But
Mm.
yeah, man. Oh, we've been talking for a minute now, and
dude.
I'm actually bugging at this point because I'm like, what if the camera switches off?
Oh
Because
no.
it's been on for a minute. I really need to get
Mm.
that DC Coupler. Like, it's like this cable. It's like this. It's like a battery attached to a cable. right?
Oh
So you plug
yeah.
it in the
Yeah.
wall. So your battery, it's always connected to a power source. So you don't have to worry about the battery running out and all that.
Oh
I
damn.
really need to get that this year. I'll put that
Yeah.
in my resolutions box or
Mhm.
resolutions list or something. But yeah, that's been today's episode. So yeah, if you
Hold
guys
up,
would like to,
hold up, hold up, hold up.
also,
I'm sorry for cutting you off. Yeah, I'm
Really?
really sorry for cutting you off. But
okay.
but like, don't you remember what happened like in the esports scene, dude?
Oh snap! Yeah, I mean, true.
You
Yeah.
sound so underwhelmed, dude. What?
No, I'm like, oh no, I'm just like Ghost fan because I almost closed the show, right? But yeah,
Exactly, dude.
even though I'm worried about the back, if it cuts, it's fine. We need to touch on this because yeah, I mean, like I said, we cover esports, gaming, and tech, so we have to cover the esports. We've covered the tech, we've covered the gaming. Let's cover the
Time for
esports
esports, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and what better
Menashe,
thing?
what do you have to say about it, Menashe?
I mean,
What
it
do
affected
I as?
everyone.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has something to say about it, but you know,
Yeah. Before let me provide context. So if you guys follow a game called Counter Strike Global Offensive, or if you're a fan of it, you probably already know this. But one of the most dominant teams, or one of the most dominant teams has officially died,
yeah,
and that team we're talking about is Australis. So R.I.P. Australis.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, some of the players have left. Device was Device the first one to leave.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Device was the first one to leave.
Device was the first one to leave, right? And he went to join Ninjas in Pajamas. And then after that, um, the rest of the guys things just
Just
went south.
it just
Especially after
spiraled
the
down.
previous, especially after the previous major, they had their one. I think their worst performance in a couple of years, in like in the last 3 years.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the previous major performance was the worst, right?
Yeah,
Um, which is sad. I mean, like you said, everything must come to an end eventually, and the Astralis era has come to an end.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the remaining guys, the guys who were still there, like it was Dupree, Magisk, and Zonic was the coach. They have now moved into Team Vitality. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Vitality has taken those legends into their team, and hopefully, you know, there will be that extra sauce into Vitality. I mean, Vitality has one of the greatest players to ever grace the game.
Second best player.
Is he officially second?
Yeah, he's officially second. But like, honestly, we all knew that Simple was the best. He was the goat even before winning a major. In my opinion. My
No, yeah,
humblest of opinions.
this guy's just a simple fanboy.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
let's
gonna lie.
not let's not get
I'm a
him
simple
started.
fanboy. Dude. I'm a simple fanboy.
Yeah, I mean, simple fanboy. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if since there's this big change that has come to Team Vitality, right? Um, I think that it could shake up the roster, and we could potentially see Team Vitality being a bigger problem within
Mm,
the CS:GO space. No, they're already a problem, right? Like I said, they have Zaiwu, who's like naturally gifted. Like he's like naturally gifted at the game. Like have you seen him play? He's crazy. So now they got Zaiwu, they got Dupree, they got Magisk, and now they got Zonix, on the decks. So we might see some great things with Vitality this year. I feel like definitely they're a team to look out for.
Yeah.
yeah.
And another team that has separated would be Team Liquid after 1,100 days together.
Together.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was sad to see, because there was a game where they beat Navi.
Hmm.
Yeah, they did beat Navi, and then obviously Navi came back after that. So
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid is like their North American CS:GO roster is like they had the potential of being major winners,
yeah,
right? Because the only major American team that has won the only team that has won a major in America is Cloud9, right? So now, Team Liquid, it seemed like Team Liquid was on its way for being the second team to win a CS:GO major,
they
and I
honestly had
feel
the
like
potential.
yeah, definitely, and I feel like what hindered them from doing that was Nitro departing for Valorant.
yeah.
Yeah,
You remember when he left? Yeah, I feel like when Nitro left, I feel like that was the end of Liquid at that time. Because after that,
Mm,
Twists left for Phase, and I mean,
I don't understand why they
Yeah.
got rid of Twist though. Like in my opinion.
Speaking of phase rops, dude.
Phase Robs. Robs is
Because
not
I
interesting.
saw that when I woke up at like 6 a.m. one morning, and I was like, huh?
Crazy.
Phase
I mean,
rops all of
honestly,
a sudden.
honestly, at this point, I've been a fanboy. I've been a Phase fanboy for the longest, Phase out. But they always sign these crazy ass players, but they never produce any crazy ass results. Like, is it a Phase curse? I think I'll start calling it the Phase curse because like they always sign these, bigger than life rosters and stuff, but they never produce those results. The only time they produced crazy results was when they played in that Boston Major of 2018.
Yeah.
When they went on to the finals, start losing, and then losing to Cloud9, which was seen as an underdog.
Yeah.
And I remember I was watching that major final, dog. Me, I was heartbroken, dog. When I think about it right now, like dog, I'm good. Let's leave it. But yeah, there's a lot of things happening in the CS scene that I'm excited for, and hopefully, we'll see some great things. And hopefully Nico can get a major this year. I really want Nico to get a major, dog.
By the way, man,
Yeah.
it's the Navi era.
I mean, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they already let go of a player, right? So
I mean,
and simple and there's rumors of Simple wanting to leave Navi. So how long will that?
uh,
Oof.
when I saw that rumor, my heart was shaking. I was like, oh my gosh.
Then you're in a tight spot. I remember when Nico left FaZe, and I was like, "Yo, do I support G2 or do I support FaZe?" I didn't know which one to choose, but yeah, I it is
Yeah.
what it is.
It is what
But
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. So now that wraps up the esports news. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're officially closing it out. But yeah,
Now
if
you.
you guys have made it this far in the episode, shout out to you. If you would like to contribute or would like to add on to the conversations we've had in this episode, be sure to leave a comment. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. We'll be sure to answer them. If you're listening this to the audio version in your car, shout out to you too. For those who don't know, this podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, these are we're all over. We're all over. You know what I'm saying? So check us
We are
out
red.
because I wouldn't recommend you guys watching the podcast while you're driving. So be sure to check out the audio version if you're driving. And if you guys would like to contribute to the podcast, and if you guys would like to see some other changes onto our podcast, be sure to leave your suggestions in the comments section below as well. If you want to contact us, comment section, best place. Yeah. And if you like
Don't
the
forget.
video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, then dislike. What that's what
But
it
you
is.
won't be able to see the dislike, but
Yeah, they won't be able to see it. So yeah, go with it.
Disliking for your mental peace, I guess.
Yeah, for your
E-man.
mental peace. But yeah, shout out to y'all, and also Monash. Thank you for joining us in today's conversation. It was lit. It was lit.
Thank you
I enjoyed it.
thank you for being here, man. We really appreciate you, and we hope you're here for future videos as well.
I
We
mean,
hope the people that hit us down in the comments are
also happy.
happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
happy that you were here.
Yeah, because we'd like to see
Yeah.
you definitely
Yeah.
again. I mean, we're always together in Discord, so
Yeah, so
we'll see each other. But I mean, on
We'll
the
see each-
podcast.
yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, this is us. So this is perfect.
And it's been Jude.
And Menashe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit y'all with the heart as I
Man's
let
getting
you go.
corny now. Man is getting corny with the
Nah,
hearts
dude,
and
you
stuff.
gotta, radiate that love energy to people,
I guess.
I'ma just radiate it.
Yeah, we must get that out. So yeah, shout out to you for tuning in. We will see you guys in the next episode. So till then, cheers.